Have you ever heard of a mystery so perplexing, so layered with intrigue, that it continues to baffle investigators and amateur sleuths alike for over half a century? Today, we're journeying into the heart of a chilling Norwegian enigma, a story that feels like it was ripped straight from a spy novel. This is the haunting case of the Isdal Woman. Imagine this, November 29th, 1970. In a remote ice-clad valley near Bergen, Norway, known as Isdalen, or the Ice Valley, a startling discovery is made. A university professor and his two young daughters, out for a hike, stumble upon a scene of profound mystery. Tucked away behind some rocks, off the beaten path, lay the partially burned body of a woman. The initial investigation only deepened the puzzle. The scene was bizarre. The woman was lying on her back, her arms raised in a boxer's stance, a common reaction to intense heat. Surrounding her were peculiar items: a bottle of St. Halvard liqueur, two plastic water bottles, a plastic container with remnants of petrol, a silver spoon, and the charred remains of a passport. But the most unsettling detail? All the labels on her clothing had been meticulously cut off. Her fingerprints had been sanded away. Her face was burned beyond recognition. Someone had gone to extraordinary lengths to erase every trace of her identity. Who was this woman? And what led her to this desolate spot? The police launched one of the most extensive investigations in Norwegian history. They soon discovered that this wasn't just a simple case of an unfortunate hiker. At a train station in Bergen, they found two suitcases belonging to the woman. Inside, they didn't find an identity, but rather a disguise kit. There were multiple wigs, non-prescription glasses, a stash of different currencies, and more clothing with the tags removed. But the most cryptic item was a small notepad containing a series of codes. This discovery blew the case wide open. The woman was not just one person, she was many. Witness accounts poured in from hotels across Norway. She had checked in under various aliases, names like Fenella Lorch, Claudia Tielt, and Alexia Zarna Merches. She spoke multiple languages fluently, including German, French, Flemish, and English, often with a slight accent that no one could quite place. She presented herself as an antiques dealer or a traveling saleswoman, but her movements were erratic and didn't seem to follow any logical business pattern. She moved from city to city, hotel to hotel, constantly changing her appearance and her name. It was the classic tradecraft of a spy. The coded notepad became the focus of intense scrutiny. For years, the scribbles remained indecipherable. But decades later, with renewed interest, investigators finally cracked it. It wasn't a secret message for a foreign government. Instead, it was a detailed, coded record of the places she had visited. The codes corresponded to dates and locations on her journey through Norway and Europe. It was a diary of her travels, but one she had deliberately concealed. Why go to such lengths? The official autopsy concluded the cause of death was a combination of carbon monoxide poisoning from the fire and a massive overdose of sleeping pills. Over 50 pills were found in her stomach. The ruling was probable suicide. But many investigators then and now have found this hard to accept. Why would someone planning to end their life go to such extreme measures to hide their identity? Why burn the body in such a remote location? And witnesses reported seeing her just days before her death, looking elegant and composed, not at all like someone in despair. One hotel guest even reported her saying, "I am being followed." This fuels the most popular theory, espionage. The Cold War was at its peak in 1970. Norway, a NATO member sharing a border with the Soviet Union, was a hotbed of intelligence activity. Was the Isdal Woman a spy whose cover was blown? Was she eliminated by her own agency, or by an enemy one? Did she possess sensitive information that someone was willing to kill for? The fact that her dental work was of a very specific, high-quality type, seen in parts of southern Germany or the Balkan region, and that she claimed to be from Belgium, but had connections to Nuremberg, only adds to the international spy thriller narrative. Her elaborate efforts to conceal her identity seem far more aligned with espionage than a personal crisis. As the years turned into decades, the case went cold. The woman was given a Catholic burial in an unmarked grave in Bergen, placed in a zinc coffin to preserve her remains for future identification. And for a long time it seemed that's where her story would end. A ghost in a grave, her name known only to God. but technology has a way of breathing new life into old mysteries. In recent years, scientists have been able to perform advanced forensic tests on the few remaining tissue samples. Isotope analysis on her teeth, which act like a geological passport, revealed something astonishing. She likely spent her early childhood in or near Nuremberg, Germany, but moved to the region near the French-German border as a teenager. This was the first real concrete clue about her origins in nearly 50 years. Following this breakthrough, a full DNA profile was finally extracted. The hope was that it could be run through international databases to find a familial match. The profile was published, and investigators reached out to the public, particularly in Germany and France, hoping someone might recognize the story of a long-lost sister, aunt, or mother who disappeared around 1970. Yet despite the global publicity and the power of modern genetics, no match has ever been found. It's as if she materialized out of thin air, lived a life of shadows, and then vanished just as mysteriously. The Isdal Woman's case resonates with other profound mysteries like the Tame and Should case in Australia, where another unidentified man was found with coded messages and no identity. These stories capture our imagination because they challenge our understanding of identity itself. In a world where we leave digital and physical footprints everywhere, how can someone simply cease to exist? Today, the Isdal Woman remains one of Norway's most enduring and haunting cold cases. Was she a spy caught in a deadly game? A woman fleeing a dark past? Or someone who simply chose to disappear, with her final act going tragically wrong? The Ice Valley holds its secrets close, and the silent woman in the zinc coffin is yet to tell her tale. Her identity is a puzzle box with a missing key, a mystery frozen in time, waiting for one final piece to fall into place. Perhaps one day we will finally know her name. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the mystery of the Isdal Woman. It's cases like these that remind us how many unanswered questions are still out there. What do you think happened to her? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more journeys into the world's greatest unsolved mysteries. We'll see you in the next one.